Welcome to Spiritual Psychic with Sarah Wiseman, where you'll learn how to unlock the secrets of spiritual intuition and your own psychic gifts. Here's Sarah.
Hey everybody, I'm Sarah Wiseman. Today we are talking about, does spiritual commercialism hurt us? Learn how to spot the authenticity of spiritual offerings. And, it's with some hesitation that a lot of people don't like this kind of discussion, right? And this is because it used to be spirituality was kind of this little thing. There were a few publishers, there were a few people out in the world doing this work, and it was very, very niche. There was just a tiny little audience working in this stuff that was basically outside of religion, or it was a new approach to sort of the bigger religions that a lot of us who were raised in the US were raised with, maybe being Catholic or being Christian, were probably like a lot of the bigger influences that a lot of people experience, maybe being Jewish. But this was like, if you came up mid-century or beyond, this is kind of where you might have found yourself, where most of your exposure to any kind of spiritual thought was religious in nature. And then there was this tiny little enclave of people, maybe in New York or maybe on the West Coast, who were kind of doing these different things. And there were some books, and it was very exciting, to sort of have this different view. And then time went on, and people started understanding that there was a lot of money to be made in commercial spirituality. And so they went and did that. And at this same time, more and more people were opening up to, having questions or turning against or relapsing or lapsing from or fading out of their, religion of upbringing. And so this vacuum was created, and, in came business to take advantage of this. So nowadays, spirituality is, not everybody's interested in it at all, but so many more people are interested in it, especially when you go down to millennial, Gen Z. There's this resurgence or this appreciation for ideas outside of more traditional religions. And so it gets thrown all over social media. And the memes start coming that are sort of like pop spirituality. And the businesses take notice of, the followers that people have with this sort of pop spirituality. And then the sort of not the lie, but the sort of the oversimplification of what it means to be a spiritual person, what it means to have a spiritual practice, what it means to commit to spirituality as your most passionate, most important piece of your life. And that's not for everybody. So maybe it's really just, there's just a few people that really even care. But I'm always sort of unnerved when I see the massive amounts of commercial promotion and commercial and marketing that go into spiritual approaches that are either really watered down, not particularly correct, or just a money grab, or even worse than a money grab, maybe like a cult. The cults are disguised so beautifully nowadays. It's no longer the guru method where there's the one person leading the flock. It's now everyone reading a certain book, or it's not even a book, everyone listening to a certain podcast, or everyone having this same belief system that's floating around the same way that piercings might be popular, or tattoos, or hairstyles, or shoe looks, or the way we wear our pants, or the jackets we wear. Like, it just goes around like a trend, like a fashion trend. And that's frightening, because it means that a lot of people are attaching to this as a way of following so they fit in the group. And yet they really don't have any true connection to it. I find a lot of times, especially around, like in my teaching, I'll tell people for a while, at least at the beginning, please, no props or tools. I want everybody to put their oracle cards away while they're doing the work that I teach, which is third eye viewing. I want you to put your crystals away. I want you to put your pendulums away. I want you to put your books away. And I just want you to just go inside and see what's available to you as soul and human body, without anything else telling you how it should be done. And this can create a lot of anxiety for people. Like, but if I don't have these crystals, if I don't have my crystal bowls, if I don't have my incense, if I don't have my altar, what am I going to do? It's like, all of that is within you. You don't need a physical manifestation. And once you learn how to go within and see what's within you, not what I tell you or not what someone else tells you is going to be in there, but what you discover for yourself, then add in whatever you want prop-wise once you have this unlocked. It's not just here, it's all the ways, but this is the main way we're going to do clairvoyant visioning or guiding visions. This is the main way the universe is going to provide us with the messages and the symbols in order to understand our next steps. So remember, everybody's trying to sell you something, and some of it's probably worthwhile and some of it's not. So one way I think to check out if something is authentic is if you get into something where, one, it's super high priced, check that out. I don't think things should be free, or not. I don't think everything should be free. There should be enough free stuff from somebody to kind of get you started and get introduced to their work. Nobody should be giving their stuff away. Everybody has to put their groceries on the table, right? But if it's super high price, you're just like, why? Why is it super high priced? Is it really so special that I can't just get this by just doing more normalized activities? Why can't I get, if you can't get there that way, makes you wonder. Like, there should be a way that you're going to learn some techniques, and then you can take those and use those on your own. You don't have to be activated. You don't have to be attuned. You don't have to have the holy light of somebody shine upon you and then suddenly you get it too. It's like, we all are souls. We all have this within us. So just consider, price is one thing, and then look at the marketing. Wow, some people are such so slick and beautiful in their marketing, and it just sort of makes your heart gasp, like you're in some nirvana or something. And if the marketing has these really, the big sales funnel or the must buy now, it's just like if you're trying to buy anything, what's pushing and what's not. If it's available, it's probably going to be available in some form or another anytime you need it. Look for that. Look at like who's actually following whoever you're thinking of working with, and just kind of look at how you feel about that. I've been in some groups, where they just roll the chat, and I'm just like, why am I here? What? This doesn't resonate. This just seems like it's some weird weird rabbit hole I've fallen down, and I'm in some virtual reality with a bunch of people, and it just like, it means nothing. So look at what's, it all comes down to like what's resonating for you. If you accept the idea that you have everything within you, you may need a few tricks on, or a few techniques and tricks and tips on how to, like what I teach, third eye visioning. You might need to learn how to do that. You might need from someone else how to do some breath work. You might need to learn from someone else how to work energy in your hands, you might need to learn from someone how to converse or connect with the departed. All of these things, right? But once you learn them and once you practice them, you should be easily able to do all of this on your own all the time. It's like learning to read. Once you know, you're free. You can read anything. So look for these things where spirituality is super commercialized. And finally, beware the guru. Beware. I don't know. I don't even know. Like the super charismatic person that's toxic or mean either. Maybe you can see it in front of everybody, maybe you can't, but we have enough information in mainstream society about narcissists, emotional abusers, toxic relationships, that whole general, we see it on the political field, we see it we see it everywhere in the human condition. So if it looks too good to be true, well, you gotta check that out for yourself. I think it's amazing that spirituality has become a giant focus of our lives. I think it's amazing that the religions of the past that were quite restrictive, especially, often especially depending on which, but for women and disenfranchised people, I think it's amazing that those things are being seen as not working for where we're going. And now the next step is pay attention to who you're listening to and following, and make sure that aligns with what you really think independently as an independent observer and as a person who knows your own truth for yourself. Okay, I'm Sarah Wiseman, and you will find me at sarahwiseman.com.